Welcome to Serenity Rising Healing with Cancer. I'm Bron and I want to welcome you to not just a podcast, but to a community. A new way of seeing, feeling and walking through the chaos of cancer. Hello and welcome back to Serenity Rising. It's your friend Bron and I'm so glad you're here with me today. Life isn't about the cards you're dealt. It's about how you play them. Have you ever wondered what does it mean to win at the game of life? We use that phrase all the time. Winning at work, winning at parenting, winning at relationships. What's the game we're playing and how do we know when we've won? I often talk about social media as a game in my business over at The Social Coach. You learn the rules, you figure it out and then you play. It takes a while to learn, but when you do, it works a treat. It's marketing for businesses. But what does that look like in the life lane? When I was diagnosed with cancer in 2017 and again in 2023 with a completely different disease, well, that all sucked. But when I think about playing the game of life, how could I play with such a shit hand? And how would I find myself asking, how do I win when the hand feels so impossible? Let me explain. Have you ever played Uno? I reckon we all have at least one pack somewhere in the hall cupboard. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to play poker. I've never really managed to get my head around it. I can play or muddle my way through 21. But Uno? Yes, I can play Uno. And that's the game I want us to talk about today. The game of life is a little bit like playing Uno. Picture this. We're sitting around the table. We've shuffled the cards. We've laughed and we finally have dealt the cards. 7 to be exact. You've got your hand of cards and I have mine. You might have a +4, you might even have a skip or a reverse. But on the other hand, I take a look at my cards and they're not good ones. There's number card, there's not a good colour one there at all. But imagine this is life as it is right now. That hand is your life. Some of those cards you love, they're bright, they're colourful and they have a great job, but others not so much. And then out of nowhere, you draw the C card. Maybe it's cancer, maybe it's another diagnosis, maybe it's the caregiving card. But whatever form it takes, it's heavy. It sits on your hand, it stares at you, and you think, why did I get that card? I don't want it. Take it back. I want another one from that deck. It's so tempting in that moment to look around the table, to glance at everyone else's cards, to say, well, why don't they have this card? How come their hand looks so much better than mine? And this is where the trap of comparison, why me, creeps in. It's like a puff of smoke drifting off the campfire when we're out caravanning. Now, before we get into that, I want to make one thing clear. The game of life is a solitaire game, like the one my mum taught me when I was a kid. I had my cards, I flipped, I stacked, and I moved the cards dealt. The game of life is just like that. We are not competing with each other people, aka a comparison. The goal is to focus on our own game. And in fact, all the people around you are there to help you win, not compete with you, my friends. If the truth be told, the only way to lose is to focus on everyone else's cards. And here is a bit of science to help you see why. The urge to compare ourselves to others isn't just human nature. It's actually hardwired into us. Social psychologist Leon Festinger identified this back in 1954, explaining that people determine their individual value by comparing themselves to others on everything from our appearance to our circumstances. But here's what modern research tells us. As much as 10% of our thoughts involve comparisons of some kind. And this constant measuring can be incredibly damaging. Recent studies from 2020 to 2025 show that using Instagram would not directly increase social anxiety, but it would instead affect social comparison and self-esteem. Still not a good healthy, right? The pattern is clear. When we focus on other people's cards instead of playing our own hand, we set ourselves up for suffering. Let me ask you this. How many times have you looked at someone else's life and thought, if only I had their cards, I'd be happy. If only my hand looked like theirs, I'd be winning too. But here's the thing. That is not how the game works. Your cards are yours. Their cards are theirs. And spending your time staring at someone else's hand is the quickest way to lose. Brene Brown has a powerful way of putting it. Comparison corrodes joy. When we measure our worth by someone else's deck, we forget to play the hand that's right in front of us. And the research backs this up. Studies have found that people who regularly compare themselves to others may find motivation to improve, but may also experience feelings of deep dissatisfaction, guilt or remorse, and engage in destructive behaviours. And don't forget, this could be as simple as living with resentment to the hand you have been dealt, or wishing it to be something else. I'm sure we can all relate to these feelings at one time or another. For me, in my hand right now, I have 2 Cancer cards. And let me tell you, do I like them? Absolutely not. Do I grieve them? Often. There are days when the weight of those cards feels almost unbearable. But when I stop staring at everyone else's hand, when I bring my focus back to my cards and my hand, I ask a different question. How do I play these cards with as much intention, courage, and care as I can? This is where the Serenity Prayer becomes a lifeline. You know the words. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, don't forget, as I always say, swap out the word God to whatever you believe in. Universe, higher power, source, or Dennis. You know the drill. Recent research on prayer and mental health shows us why this framework is so powerful. Studies find that prayer can have a significant but modest effect on mental health recovery, and specifically, participants repeatedly told researchers that regular prayer was a major factor in their recovery. Prayer can be meditation. It can be whatever your version of prayer is, because it's not just a prayer, it's a practice. It's a framework for looking at your cards. Ask yourself, which cards can I not change? Those I need to accept, as hard as that is. Which cards can I take out or change? Those I need the courage to act on. And where is the wisdom? The wisdom is knowing the difference. Here's another truth about the game of life. It's not just about one card. It's never just about joy or just about grief. It's often about both. And just like you put a card down and you get to pick up 2. It moves all the time. This is what researchers call dialectical thinking, the ability to hold 2 seemingly opposite truths at the same time. Dialectical thinking recognizes the importance of contradiction, change, and synthesis. And recent studies show it's healthy core thinking processes that helps us to synthesize painful polarized opposites. So what that means is that we can have a feeling of deep sadness about the cards that I've been dealt, but also find the joy in walking outside, breathing in that fresh air, or laughing with my kids. That's what synthesis means. I can grieve the things cancer has taken, but still celebrate the things it has taught me about resilience, love, and presence. This both and not an either-or approach isn't just philosophical, it's actually therapeutic. Research shows that dialectical thinking can be very helpful for reducing depression and anxiety, and helps us move away from black and white thinking towards a more, rainbow, if I can put it that way. I call this the third space, where serenity can be found moment by moment. What's fascinating is that accepting our difficult cards doesn't mean giving up. It creates space for meaningful change. Now, this is again backed by decades of research. It's called acceptance and commitment theory. There is a theory for everything. The core principle, psychological flexibility, the tendency to respond to situations in ways because we're looking for the positive. Now, that's an academic phrase if I've ever heard one, but my way of wording it is like this. The Serenity Prayer, acceptance of what I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, that's psychological flexibility at its finest, because the research is clear. Well, when we stop fighting against the cards we can't change, we free up energy to play the ones we can. So let's bring this into real life. When I look at my hand, I see movement at one of my cards at the moment. For years, I've carried a sedentary lifestyle because I work for myself. But I realised that I can change that. I was going to call it the move your ass card, but thought movement might be a little bit better. What do you think? So I've started walking again. I've added yoga, and I have said yes to massage and chiro. And the win isn't hitting 10,000 steps a day, my friends. The win is in the moment, feeling my blood flow, feeling energy move through me, feeling light return to my body. I'll do this until I can't. For you, it might be something completely different. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's connection. Maybe it's setting boundaries. The question is, which card in your hand is waiting to be played differently? I want you to imagine your own cards right now. Close your eyes if you can. Picture them spread out in your hands. One of those cards might feel heavy, dark, or unwanted. Take a breath and notice it. Ask yourself, can I change this card? Do I need courage today to carry it differently? Let that question sink in. So what does it mean to win at this game called life? Winning isn't about getting rid of every difficult card. It's not about comparing your hand to anybody else's. It's not even about reaching the end of the game with the perfect outcome. Winning happens here, right now, in the daily moments you choose to play the card in front of you with courage, grace, and commitment. Commitment to yourself, no matter what the outcome. It's in the laughter you share, the steps you take, the boundaries you set, the love you give and receive. It's in choosing to show up one card, one day, one breath at a time. It's not living to 100 or meditating under a tree, unless you want to, of course. And remember, you're not playing alone. Around this table of life, we're all holding different hands. Some are heavier than others. But remember, this is a game of solitaire, not going for the win of sheep stations, okay? The only way to win is if you take your cards and make them work for you. If your buddy next door needs a +1, hand it over. If your buddy next door needs a +2, hand it over. Let's help each other as we gather around the table because you are not alone. The burden is not too heavy because we are all here with you. Here at the Serenity Project, we celebrate every card you play because every choice, every moment, it's a win. Let's make every moment matter because moments make memories, and let's make every day count. Thank you so much for listening. It's been great to have you here. All links you'll find in the show notes, and I'll see you on the next, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great having you here. And what I would love you to do is leave a comment or ask a question using my fan link below this episode and on every episode that we post. I would love to hear your thoughts, your questions, and I'll get back to you. Have a great day and bye for now.